Hey everyone, catching the replay. This is just simple gratitude rituals, and thank you so much for catching the replay. You can comment throughout the entire replay as if this is a live video. I will respond to them. Even if it's not instantly, I will respond to them. I do read all of the comments, so I will see all of them. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this replay. I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to see who pops on. So I'm going to go ahead and work on pulling up the live as well, just in case for some reason my phone doesn't want to show me comments. Hey Alyssa, awesome. Hey Haley, oh my goodness, I can see comments. That is so relieving. I love it when it works out and I can actually see comments. Hey Alyssa, I'm just going to give it a couple minutes to give some people a chance to hop on, but I'm doing simple gratitude rituals. If you would like to do one alongside me, because I will do one, all that you need is a candle. I'm going to use a tea candle because it's quick burning, a piece of paper, and something to write with. Optional is a fire-safe dish, but you don't necessarily need this. It just depends on the way that you want to do it. The fire-safe dish is for if you're burning your paper, but not everyone is in a space in which they can burn paper. So if not, we don't need the fire-safe dish. We have another option. You can use any candle you would like. I'm just picking a tea candle for the purpose of it quicker burning. I will show the background as I do always. I do pick out specific candles for each video live that I do. We have brown, orange, yellow, and gold to represent gratitude and thankfulness. Pop those back over there. And then I grabbed out some fall candles. Hey Sherry. Hey Trista. I'm so glad that I can see comments. That is relieving. I really hate it when the comments don't work. While I wait just to give a chance for any more people to hop on, I will just quickly go over the things I'm going to talk about. I'm going to do, they don't have like great names, but I've got them like categorized. So I'm going to do a burning gratitude paper ritual. I'll talk about a candle lighting ritual. I'll talk about a gratitude box. I will talk about a gratitude altar. I will talk about cleaning and refreshing the gratitude altar or box. I will go over a gratitude spell jar, a gratitude charm bag, and a self-gratitude ritual / acorn affirmation. That's just a quick little rundown of the things that I'm going to go over. Thank you so much, Alyssa. So, I guess I will go ahead and explain what I'm going to be doing before I do it. So I have my candle, I have my matches, I've got my pen, and I've got my paper. So on this paper, I'm going to write down something that not only am I grateful for, but something that I want to have keep coming in my life. So sort of like something I'm grateful for, and then something I want to keep bringing in. So I'm going to write that down. An example could be, you could say that you're grateful for your health and you want to keep bringing in good health, or you're grateful for your luck or abundance and you want to keep bringing that in. So everyone's is going to be different. So I'm going to write that down real quick. You can be really specific, or you can put down more general words. So I'm just tearing off the portion in which I wrote on, making the paper kind of small, and I'm just going to fold it up. I'm folding it towards me because I want to bring it in. And what makes something like a ritual is when you're paying attention to the details. It's something that you're doing with purpose and intention. So for this ritual, if I was doing it like by myself, not on the live, I would take all of my different tools that I need, I would cleanse them, and then I'm doing this now with this paper, I'm going to be really manifesting what it is that I'm trying to bring in. So Laura, you haven't missed very much. I'm just going over this ritual that I'm going to be doing with y'all. So on this piece of paper, I just wrote down something that I'm grateful for, but that I also want to keep bringing into my life. And I wrote this down on the paper. That's all you've missed, and I went over what we're going to be going over, but you'll see. So if you're following along with me, you'll take your piece of paper, and after you fold it up, you need to really seal in that intention. However long that takes you, or however quickly that is, or whatever way is personal to you. So that's the most important thing about all these rituals I'm going to go over. I'm giving you the most basic of basic steps, and you need to personalize it to yourself and your craft, or it's not going to be as suiting. You know what I mean? Crystals that I may use, or herbs that I may use, or candles, or incense, or anything like that is going to be very personalized to me. Like, for instance, let's say a manifesting smell to me is vanilla. So maybe while I'm doing this, I would light a vanilla incense, right? But maybe to someone else, vanilla is not their thing. They wouldn't light a vanilla incense. Does that make sense? So I'm just giving the most basic points of this ritual for all of them, and then y'all can fill in more. Yes, hi Po to everyone. He is my greatest supporter, always here. Hey Elizabeth, no worries, you're not that late. We are just getting started on the ritual we're all doing together, or if you want to do it with me on the replay. So I've got that paper. I am going to be doing one where I burn it, and I'm going to be doing one where I'm not burning the paper, just so I can do it with anyone who's doing it whichever way. So I'm just writing down the exact same things on the second paper, because I'm just really going to be manifesting that same thing, but I'm going to do it both ways so I can do it with all of you guys. And if you wanted to do it both ways, I mean, you totally could. So I wrote it down. I'm folding my paper inwards towards me because I want to bring it in. So both my papers say the same thing. So I'm going to put one in my fire safe bowl. And if I was doing this alone, I would put this in the bowl and I would probably put both of my hands over it and try to push in as much energy for myself as I could and really concentrate on this. After I do that, if you are going to be burning your paper, so let me scooch back here a little. Try to find, okay. This is a little unsafe. Maybe don't recommend doing it in your lap like this. This is the box that I, just because I know somebody might be curious, because I'd be curious. This is the box that I store my spell candles in, and my big candles. So, that's what's in the box, just in case you were curious, because if I saw someone pull up a box, I'd wonder, and that's what that top looks like. But I'm just going to use this so you guys can see what I'm doing. Once again, don't do this, not safe. So here's my candle, here's my little fire safe bowl, here's my paper. Again, this setup is a little ratchet, don't copy me. Put it on a flat surface that's very stable. I'll move it onto a more stable surface once I'm done. So, I'm going to take my match. Lit my match. I'm going to light my candle. I'm going to set my candle on this table. Because I'm also going to light my incense. Because I'm feeling the vibe. Or I'm going to try to light my incense if it wants to light. Okay, I got her going a little bit. Enough that I'll get some smell out of it. Let's put out this match safely, because fire safety, very important. Okay, match is out. Thank you, by the way, Haley. And Sherry, I keep all of my letters in boxes like this, in my living room. So, here's my candle. Here's my fire safe bowl. I'm setting my candle in my fire safe bowl. What incense am I using? That incense is a random incense. I actually have no clue what the smell is, but I love it. But the incense that you need to use is an incense that is representing of either gratitude or manifestation. Whatever smell that is for you, find it and use it. So I'm going to take my paper. I'm going to catch it on fire. Very safely, don't burn your fingers. And after it's on fire, I'm going to throw it in my fire-safe bowl, and I'm going to let it burn. Okay, it's going to burn out. And it's going to turn to ash when it's done. Okay, and the smoke releasing into the air, y'all can probably see some of the smoke. That and all of the ash from this paper, when it's all done, is going to manifest the things I wrote on it. Okay, and I would keep this ash if you're going to do one of these other ones that I'm talking about later. I'm not going to fully burn out my paper. I have a lot of ash, and I have like a tiny little piece like this left, just because I kind of like the paper look. I'll get into that a little more later. So that could be one ritual all in itself, right? Burning it fully and letting the paper fully burn out. Okay? Only reason mine's not fully burnt out is because I'm going to use that for something else later. If you are not comfortable burning your paper, you can take your manifestation paper, set it underneath your candle, whatever kind of candle it is, and let the candle fully burn down with this under the paper, and that will be manifesting it for you. So, I'm going to come over here, and I get all this crap off my other fire safe dish. So here's my fire safe dish. Again, those are important. Here's my manifestation paper. Boom. Here's my candle going right on top of my paper. Right? And I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it right back there. Usually for spell work, depending on it, I'll use one of these big candles or I'll use a spell candle. It just depends. But we're going tea candle today. Alright. So that was the one that I was going to do with y'all. Hey Patricia, no worries about being late. And thank you Trista. This is a bowl that I really, really, really like. I believe it came from India, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure though. But I really do enjoy it. Actually, I have like a couple little wax build up in here. I'm gonna have to clean it because when I do wax work, I do it in there because it's a pretty good and sturdy bowl. But anyways, so that is what I kind of labeled the burning gratitude sheet was this one. And then the candle lighting is that one. So I'm going to talk about both of those. With the candle lighting and with the burning in the bowl, it could be just as simple as what I just did. Okay? Or you could take your ritual and you could really amp it up. I could have anointed my candle with some anointing oil. So let's say I was using this candle right here. I could take some of my anointing oil and I could put it on here and I could anoint this candle before I start. I could add herbs to this oil. I could put the candle up, melt some of the wax, put it on a plate, and then I could put herbs around it. I could put salt around it. I could put seashells around it. I could just put charms and trinkets around it. I could get statues and put it by. I could add cloths. I could add ribbons. I could add color magic. I could say a chant while I'm doing it. I could have like a repetition of like move my hand around it 3 times in a specific direction, how I fold it 3 times inward. These are all different personalization tips to make the ritual yours. So I'm giving you this like real base idea of burning the gratitude sheet fully and letting it release with the smoke, or putting the gratitude sheet under the candle, or by the candle if you don't need it to be under. But you want to really make it your own thing because that's going to really work the best in your craft. And I hope that is making sense. And the bowl, ooh, I got this bowl a really long time ago and I honestly could not tell you where I got it. I got this bowl probably like 8 years ago maybe, so I really don't remember. But I think it came from India. I probably bought it online, or if I didn't buy it online, I probably got it like a thrifty spiritual kind of store, or like a complete another thrift store, so not very helpful. Sorry for that. But that's my honest answer. So, all right, the next one I'm going to talk about is a gratitude box. And so this is kind of like a 2-for-1. So let me grab a box. All right. Here's a box. So this could be 2 rituals, right? Making the box. You could do it where every single year you make a box. Or it could be just a one-time ritual. Rituals don't have to be repeated. And the reason it could be a ritual rather than just, I'm going to decorate this box, is the way in which you do it. So let's say I was going to make this into my gratitude box. I would maybe set the scene. I would put down a cloth. I would light my candles, and as I'm lighting each candle, I'm going to be thinking about what I want this box's purpose to be, what I want this to do, what I want this to do for me, the purpose I want it to have, the intentions for it. And then if I choose to decorate the box, I'm going to do so in a way that is very specific for what it is that I'm wanting. So if this is a gratitude box, what I would do personally is I would make a sigil, and I'd either put it on the top or I put it right on the inside, and the sigil would be for gratitude, and then I would probably have maybe one on the bottom or somewhere else for manifestation, because those are the 2 things that I'm wanting. I'm wanting to be grateful and provide gratitude, and I'm wanting to continue manifesting what I'm grateful for. And then after I decorated the box, whether that be with, sorry, it's my dog, whether that be with a specific paint that you have maybe blessed, or maybe it is done in any way that you want to decorate it, right? But it has to be, there's a difference between decorating the box mundane-like and decorating the box in a ritual-like state for manifesting and really showing that appreciation, that gratitude. I hope that makes sense with what I'm meaning in. So, with making the box, you would make it very personalized. You could set the box on a table with a ring of salt around it with crystals and herbs and such with statues. You could, what I would personally also do, because I love bell cleansing, is I would decorate my box and then I would ring my bell. I would probably go corner to corner, corner to corner, and I would cleanse my box with sound, because I really like sound cleansing. For sound cleansing, you could also use chants. You can cleanse it however you want it, but I really like cleansing something and then diving into it, but that's just personally how I like it. That might not be what you want to do. After you make the box, you could put a protection spell over it to keep that gratitude and that manifestation protected inside of the box. And so after you make the box, it could become a daily habit to write one small thing that you're thankful for that day or you're grateful for that day and throwing it in your box. And then on a day, let's say you feel no gratitude and you just feel sad, take some time to go through your box. And when you're looking at the box and you're seeing like all the sigils that you have on it or the decoration that you have, it's supposed to really pull you into that gratitude state and really remind you of all of the things that you're grateful for. And then you can meditate with it and take some time with it to really appreciate those things. I really hope that I'm making sense. But that's what I mean with the gratitude box. And so this sort of moves me into a gratitude altar. You could make a space. It doesn't have to be a big space. So you see the shelf right here? It could simply be one of these little slits could be your gratitude altar. It could be the entire thing. It could be an entire bookshelf. It could be whatever you want it, right? It could be one little spot on like, you could have a candle lid and you could set the things inside the candle lid and put it on your nightstand. Like, it doesn't matter the size. And that could be your gratitude altar, right? And you could put little things that remind you of what you're thankful for. Like, let's say you put like a little charm in there, a little crystal, maybe a little trinket. Maybe you have like a little key that represents something to you, and put all these things on that space that when you look at it, you can feel the gratitude. You can be really connected to it. And if you can't have a physical space, or maybe you're in the broom closet or something like that, you could make a box for your gratitude altar, and you can have a tiny box inside of it for your gratitude box. You know what I mean? So an altar doesn't have to be a physical space that doesn't move. It could be a traveling thing. So that was what I meant with this. So this could be your gratitude box, and then this could be my gratitude altar, and I could open it up. I could, maybe build myself something cute in here to like set stuff on for things that I'm grateful for. I could have my little gratitude box inside. You can like truly make it your own thing. So I hope that stirs up some ideas for y'all with that. Let me check out these comments for a second. I love that idea, a gratitude box. I'll watch from the beginning. Sorry I'm late. No worries, Ronette. Makes sense. I have the perfect box to use when looking for something to make it. I have to get a box now. I'm so excited to make one. Yeah, I have. I really like these empty boxes. I have this little flat one. It could really be any size. Oh, here are my crystal chips. I was wondering what was in this box. It was a little heavy. But, yeah, you can use any kind of box that you want. And on the same note, 1 second, I don't like leaving a mess in my floor, or I'll stomp on it. It could be a box. Maybe you're not a decorative person. Maybe you're not an artsy person whatsoever. You could just pick a box that you really like, and you could just put in little pieces of paper with what you're grateful for. And you could use it the same way without needing the artsy stuff. You could just cleanse the item that you're putting the stuff in and manifest over it. You don't have to physically decorate it. You could just manifest over it and use your energy. And maybe even just draw like a tiny little sigil in the corner or something, if that is a different idea for someone else. We do wishing jar and thankful jar during you all might expand to all year. Same idea as a gratitude box. I've never considered a gratitude altar. I love the idea of the box. I'm so glad that you guys like that idea. So here's the last one. Again, if you're not super crafty, this could be your gratitude box. You could write something that you're grateful for every single day, put it inside of this, and do it the same way. It doesn't have to be inside of a box. It could be anything that you want, whatever works the best for you. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, you could set this down. You could put candles around it. You could just put trinkets around it that just remind you how grateful you are. You could put a sigil on the bottom. If you don't want to draw on your item, you could put a sigil on a piece of paper and tape it to the bottom. That's not permanent, you know what I mean? You could use this for something else later. Or you could draw the sigil on this and just set this on top of here. I just personally really like sigils, but you don't have to use it if that's not really your thing. But you can really expand it. That's the main thing about rituals, is you really want it to be personal to you. So if something's not working, you change it, make it your own. I personally think rituals and spells work a lot better if you make sure it works within your practice rather than just grabbing one. Of course, there are certain things that you really need to like follow along with, but for something like gratitude, that is just very personal to you. I love it, thinking outside of the box, if you will. Yes, yes, yes. Patricia, I'm so glad. That is what I want. I want to make it easy to approach, and you really, like I said, just make it to what works for you and what you have going on. So let's cruise on right over to cleansing and refreshing your gratitude box or your altar. And you could make it into, like I said, a ritual. It could be every Sunday, every Wednesday, every month, every other month, every Mabon, once a year, where you cleanse, and I don't just mean physically, I mean like spiritually, whether that be with sound, selenite, salt, water, whatever you want. A million different cleansing options. Cleanse it and refresh it. Refreshing not only with physical, but refreshing, putting in that new energy, spending time with it. And like I said, you could make this a ritual by doing the exact same thing every time you do this. It could be every time you cleanse and refresh, you start with cleansing physically, then you start with cleansing energetically, then you meditate, then you wave your hands around it in a specific way, saying a specific chant, and then you touch each piece of paper that's in it, putting in your new energy, and then read it, say it out loud, manifest it while you put it back into the box, remove any that no longer fit, and fill in with more, manifesting and saying it out loud each time as you do it. It could be adding in herbs to it. It could be removing old herbs and old crystals and adding in something that is new. But for the cleansing and refreshing, I personally like doing it in repetition, doing the same thing each time on like a set schedule. It could be every full moon you refresh it, every new moon you refresh it, every Maybon. But it's a way to keep it going and refresh and just add a little more to it. So also something that you could do is with your gratitude ritual, you could include in divination. So let's say while my candle is burning, I could pull a couple tarot cards and ask about the thing that I'm grateful for. Ask if spirit sees the appreciation that I'm showing for what I'm thankful for. I could do an oracle reading. I could do a pendulum reading. I could include in that divination into my ritual. I could do scrying, whatever is like personal to you. So on a similar note to the candle, something else you could do is you can make a gratitude spell jar. So this is not a gratitude spell jar. This is not what this is. This is just a completed spell jar, so you could sort of see an example of how a spell jar could look. But like I said, this is not a gratitude spell jar at all. This is a completely separate spell jar. But from the outside, you would have no clue what this is for. But obviously I do, because I set the intentions for it, and everything that I picked for it is very specific. I actually made this about like 2 years ago. I refresh it and cleanse it and remanifest it all the time. It's the only one that I keep on my altar because it stays present, it stays needed, it stays relevant. So here's an example of what a spell jar could look. I have a piece of paper in here. I have ash at the bottom. I have crystals. I have wood chips. I have herbs. I have ribbon around it. I have wax seal. All the different things that I felt like this one needed. So here's what a complete spell jar could look like. But here we go. Your spell jar could be something like this, where you just twist on and off. Your spell jar could be, you know, the classic little, ooh, just hit myself in the face with it. It could be something like this. Dude, that cork is just not working with me. There we go. It could be something like this. Oh, or it could be, you know, something like this. Whatever works for you. Wow, that was really stuck on there. Like, it doesn't, the shape doesn't matter, you know what I mean? Like, you could pick a specific shape for a specific thing. Like, for me, I sort of use these different things for, like, specific things. Like, if I'm doing something where I'm probably going to take the crystals back out of, like, let's say I want to put a big crystal in there, I'll probably use this one so I can just take it back out. If I wanted to use long stems of herbs so I could have the whole herb in there, I'd probably use this one. And then with these, I love, love, love putting wax over them. So whatever I put in this bad boy, like, I'm not getting back out. So those are different, like, types. Any vessel you want. The important thing is what you put in there, how you do it, and the intentions that you set. So if I was making a gratitude spell jar, or I was making a gratitude charm bag, any bag, it could be a mesh, it could be this, and here's a little, let me grab one out. Here's a little charm you could put on the outside of it, you know. If you're making a gratitude spell jar or charm bag, what you could do is, like I said, you could light candles. You could write just one paper of the things that you're grateful for and wanting to manifest in. You could write down a bunch of little papers. You could put a sigil on it. It is really creating your own ritual and your own, like, saying or however you wanted. But these are some different vessel options, just as Ronette put it, that you could use. And yes, any vessel. Oh, I just threw that. I need those types of jars. So I have to label stuff because I have many jars brewing. Yeah, labeling stuff is important if you cannot remember what's going on in them. I can just tell. Like, I can look at it and, like, I wrote what's on that paper, like, 2.5 years ago. I know what's in there. I know for sure what's in there. And I rework on that a lot. So, next I wanted to just go over a couple more options with ways that you can personalize. So, like I mentioned, adding chants, adding crystals, adding herbs, my bad. Writing is on the brain. Anointing oil, statues, deity, god, goddess, animal representations, symbols, sigils, color magic, repetition, charms, cloths, divination, little trinkets. Like, here's a little key. I have little trinkets all over the place because they represent certain things to me. And like I mentioned, ribbon. It could be a plain red ribbon, or you could get some, like, festive ribbon. I brought these out to show you guys. This one is just little pumpkins and leaves. My camera is picking it up horribly. This one, it shows definitely much better. And then this one just says Eternal Autumn. And these to me are very like fall, very like Mabon, very like thankfully kind of vibes. So if I was to make a gratitude spell jar, I would really want to tie it up with one of these rather than maybe just the red. But maybe just the red is what you feel like it needs because it's all personalized to you. And so, you asked where I get the little jars from? The dollar store, any grocery store really. This is just like a half-size little like canning jar that is probably meant for food. These little spell jars you can also get at the dollar store. You can get them at most crafting stores. They usually come in packs of multiples. But even like the Dollar Tree has these. And then most craft stores have them. Maybe a Walmart, but I'm not sure about that. And then this actually came with candy inside of it. I'm not gonna lie. So I just steal containers from things. Like, if I buy like salsa or something and it comes in a jar, like, you can believe I'm washing that jar and I'm keeping it. The same thing with like pickle jars and stuff like that. I'm washing it out. I'm taking off any of the labels. Maybe I'll repaint the lid so I don't have like some weird advertisement on there. And boom, I'm finna use that jar for something because I can't be buying jars all the time. So you can do all those different things. If you hear some like clinking, that would be my dog's tag bouncing off her collar. But those are some ideas for ways that you can really personalize it to you. And before I jump into my self-gratitude acorn affirmation, if anybody has any questions or comments or just anything that they want to share on those different ritual ideas or the little one that I did with you guys, I'd love to hear it. And then I'm going to jump into that self-gratitude acorn affirmation. I just washed 3 jars tonight. LOL. Yeah, see, repurposing, that is the way. Also, I guess I just thought about this. You could use one of these. I don't like the back of it, so I don't display the back of it. I'll show you. I got it at the dollar store. I mean, I just don't like it. But I don't want to paint it because, like, I feel like that's a little unsafe. I don't know, because I feel like it's gonna, like, melt or something. Who knows? I just don't ever show the back, so it's fine. But you could put stuff in here, like, you know, oil, and then you can burn it. It's a little oil diffuser. Put your little tea candle under there. You can put oils up in here. You could write your manifestation, put it on the bottom. Like, you can get so creative with it. So, lastly, let's get into that acorn affirmation. So, for this, I found the perfect acorn so that way I could show you. Please, please tell me that this is just not the cutest little acorn ever. He's got a cute little cap. He's got the cute little crooked stem. I love it. Had to show that. Had to show that off. And then I have a baby acorn. Here's my baby acorn, but this one stays on my altar all the time. There's a little fuzz on it. But he stays on my altar with my baby feather and my baby pine cone as some nature representation. But yes, I had to bring out the most perfectest acorn to show you guys. So, I like acorns because they just, okay, this might sound a little weird, but when I see them on the ground, I will stop and I'll pick one up every single day, and when I'm walking to my mailbox, and I'll carry it in my hand as I'm walking to my mailbox, and it just reminds me that the tiniest things in nature can make the biggest of difference. This could grow into a mighty giant oak tree, or, you know, came from one, and just reminds me just like the tiniest little things can be so beautiful, and just pause for a moment. So every single day when I pick one and I carry it back home, I put it in my acorn jar, and this sits by my door. And if I had guests, which I don't because yucky people, when they left, I would give them an acorn. So that way they could take it on their way and just be reminded to stop and be grateful for the small things, because they can add up to the big things. So that's just like a little easy one. Just picking up, put it in your jar. And yeah, these were collected one at a time. They're all in here. Some of the caps and the acorns have obviously separated, but I only put whole ones in here. But anyways, that's my little acorn jar. So, how could that be an affirmation, you ask? Great, I'll answer that question. So, I ripped the guy's hat off for this, which obviously you could do it with a hat on. I just wanted to make it easier to show you guys on the camera. So, what you could do is you could have like a bowl, or you could have your acorns, what so have you, and you could put a sigil on it. If you have the utmost good handwriting and a small Sharpie, you could write a single word on here, like kind, loving, caring. You could do that as a little affirmation, or more personalized to you, you could put a sigil on it to represent that word. So we're going to be really easy just for the sake of drawing. I'm going to put a really basic sigil on there that I'm going to come up with right now. So if anybody wants to use it, you surely can. I'm trying to come up with something that is grateful and manifesting. Okay. And I'm trying to draw it on an acorn, so no judgment here. Nobody be mean. And I'm also focusing because I need to manifest my energy into this as I do it, or that sort of defeats the purpose. Okay, I think I got something going on here. Okay, it's pretty simple, but I like it. Okay. So, alright, try not to smudge it because that would be not helpful. So I drew a little heart. I put a little, let me not get the light to glare so bad. I put a little plus sign inside of it. So my heart is for gratitude. My little plus sign is for manifestation. I put two little dinks on either side of the top of the heart to represent thorns for my protection of my inner child when I'm being grateful, and protecting of my energy while I'm manifesting. And then I put an arrow through it, because throughout my grateful journey, I need to keep moving upwards and manifesting more. And that's why I made my arrow pointing upwards. I also have my arrow pointing towards the right because I want to keep going upwards in a positive direction while I'm manifesting more. So each different thing that I drew represents something. And that's what makes it like a personal sigil, because every single thing is in it and it is representation of something. So now if I put this acorn in my spell jar, it would a spell jar or my acorn jar, it's for representing manifestation and gratitude. I hope that makes sense. So, you can feel free to use the same sigil. That's totally okay. Lastly, what, you ask, am I doing with this burnt paper that has my manifestations in it? If I was making a spell jar, like I did with that one up there, I would take all the ash from this, put it in my jar, and I would put the little pieces of paper in my spell jar. I like it being burnt because I like burning in and like really like bonding that to the paper. Maybe burning it is not your thing. You could just roll up the paper and put it right on in here. But that's why I wanted to keep the pieces of paper, would be to put in one of these, if that makes sense. I never thought of thorns being for protections. Well, thorns are protecting the roses. And like, maybe protection to you is an animal. Maybe protection to you is a symbol. Maybe protection to you is a color. Maybe a vibrant blue. Abby, can we not do that right now? Maybe a violent blue is violent. Maybe a vibrant blue is protection to you because the blue poison dart frog is a very vibrant blue, and that's what protects itself from predators. So maybe you use that violent blue, not violent, oh my goodness, vibrant blue to represent protection to you because that's what you think of and you associate it with. It can really tie into anything as long as it makes sense to you, because what represents protection to me might not represent protection to you, but it could be the same thing. I hope that makes sense. Total sense. Awesome. Well, that is mostly what I have to show for you guys. If anybody wants to comment anything or say anything before I hop off, love to read it. But if not, I hope you guys enjoyed what I had to share. I hope it springs you some ideas for this gratitude season. I'm going to let my candle keep on burning, doing its thing. I'll come bring it over here, show you how we're cooking. We not accidentally spill hot wax everywhere. That would be majorly inconvenient. So my candle's going. If I was doing this by myself, I would really pay attention to how this candle is burning, and I would probably flame scry, if I'm going to be totally honest. I would flame scry to see how well this gratitude ritual is working and how well this is manifesting. And if I was using a candle that produced a lot of smoke, I would smoke scry to see how it was going. Let me set that down really gently. All right. Read these comments real quick. Thank you. Love all these ideas. Thank you. Thank you for this live. I enjoy this. Definitely gave me tons of ideas and some more notes. Definitely going to work on some of these ideas. Okay. Well, you guys are all so welcome. I am so glad this sprung some ideas. And yes, I hope y'all definitely enjoyed it. Thank you so much. And if you guys make a gratitude jar, a gratitude box, any of the things that I said, totally drop a picture of it in the comments. I would love to see it, and maybe it would spring some inspiration for any of the other ladies watching. So again, thank you all so much. I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I am grateful that all of you were here watching this video. So I hope you have a good one. Bye, guys.